And we are back. Judd'z Budz, episode 81. There is no number one in the Minnesota Wild's history. I looked it up. As always,
Phil Kessel for like 10 seconds before he negated the trade.
I guess if you want it. Yeah. All right. The Phil Kessel episode. As always, your host, Spokesy, joined by my good buddy, Mr. at State of Hoppy. Hoppy, how are you?
I mean, I'm buzzing now. I'm going to be honest. I was almost worried that the stream would just start on time without us knowing, because our conversation leading in was a little unhinged. And I'd say at least 60% of that is very passionate, avid follower of Judd'z Budz, the Sota Pod, everything we're kicking out. Our boy John Robinson coming in hot.
He is spitting fire. As everyone knows, this stream starts at 7 o'clock. And our boy...
6 Central.
Oh, well, yeah, I forget that I'm like the only one from out here. But 6... Well, again, okay, so Minnesota time. There we go. 5:28, 32 minutes before we even this goes live. John Robinson comes in, and he wants Dean Evison's head on a steak. Can this coach maybe match offensive talents? A shooter with playmaker, just maybe Rossi with Beckman or Walker. Imagine that. You need creativity and shots on goal to score and win. It's a great point, John. Oh, and another one at 5:42, 18 minutes before we went live. Evison has used Rass, Steele, Hartman, and Bukestad with Kaprizov for extended periods, but he won't give Rossi or Echo long look. Makes 0 sense. 6:45 or 5:45. Damn it! This coach is infuriating. I can't even tell if you're angry. There has got to be a different mentality and decision-making for playoff hockey and line construction. Be damned, the regular season. 5:52. The proof to point playmakers with score philosophy. Height, hate, Walker. The formula works when you mesh talent. Ugh. I think that was the last one. Attaboy, John. Love the fire.
Killing
Love
it.
the fire. Love the energy. We'll jump, I think, into that a little bit shortly once we start talking about the preseason here. But that was incredible, John. Again, love the passion, love the fire. 32 minutes early. This guy, he was here before we were, and he was just waiting to be able to comment. Love it, love that.
We love that kind of dedication and commitment. Yes. And Z, I mean, I can kind of tee you up here for what we wanted to lead in on. Bill, Pariseau, I'm gonna guess. I'm sorry, that one I could pronounce like 12 different ways. So, but obviously the game wasn't on TV last night, which I know you're gonna go off on. But it sounds like Johansson is already hurt going into the season. So much for that. Can he stay healthy? Question to replicate the magic he had with Boldy.
Well, okay, I'll start. I'm on and attaboy, John. Yeah, so I was getting locked in, ready to go. Gonna stream the Wild Dallas game last night, preseason game, and all of a sudden I go to I click on the link and it's audio only. How in the ever living Christ, in the year 2023, is an NHL preseason game. I know it's preseason, but in theory, this is a professional sports league. How is there no stream? How is it not being televised? Like, I was wondering if it was just like only local, like Dallas would have it some. I don't know. And that was stupid because I was just too like shocked that wouldn't even be an option to share. I was like, maybe it's just, I don't know, going to be televised with like the local stations there. Nothing. They're like radio only, audio only. How the fucking Christ is any team in this league doing this? It blows my mind. We're like, I wonder why, hockey is not popular at all. It's like, well, every other sport, including like the MLS, every fucking preseason games on TV, streamed, whatever. There's always options. It is ungoddamn believable that in 2023, Minnesota Dallas, who played the first round of the fucking playoffs last year, the preseason game, not on. And I said this before, if I'm running the Twitter, I am just outright lying. Every play. I would have tweeted out a 14-0 Minnesota Wild.
Brock Faber just beat the wheels off Ryan Suter, everybody. Doesn't matter if either of them are playing in this game. That's what happened.
The game just stopped. Jim Neal walked onto the ice, and he just bought out Ryan Suter. This is unfucking believable.
I was fired by announced he's purchased the Minnesota Wild, and he's also relocating them to Dallas. There will be 2 Dallas teams.
Yeah, Dallas A, Dallas B. Guess who's the B team? That's what I would be doing. It's just unfucking believable, dude. This league is ungoddamn. Like, I just can't even fathom the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, audio only. Like, it's already annoying enough that there are certain teams who will do. Like, I remember the first time I saw that some teams do split squads for the preseason. Like the other day, New Jersey, they had one group playing the Canadians. I think one group playing the Panthers. And my brain was just like broken. I was like, wait, what? How are they doing that? That's crazy. This is insane. But someone else replied to me that the Sharks apparently just started themselves like streaming all the preseason games like for their YouTube. It's like, how are teams not fucking doing that?
Right.
It's crazy.
I think Veach has a good approach here. Every team's social media manager should have the right to go live on their iPhone if the broadcast is having issues with streaming via the actual cameras, or in this case, not even attempting to do so.
You know how funny that would be?
It'd be great.
That would be so. Again, imagine me. I'm bringing my phone with me. I'm live streaming myself. Walk to like the concession stand to grab like 4 beers, and I'm just bringing that mid play. I'm just like, yeah, I'll take everything you got. Thank you. I'd be fired immediately. I would also never have been hired in the first place. But I can't fucking, and I can't believe it. And I mean, realistically, it probably worked out because they ended up getting the shit kicked out of them anyways. So
no, but here's a good point though from Christopher Leonard. More teams need to follow Pittsburgh's lead and just buying and having their own networks. Like, I know this doesn't work for a lot of markets, but you would think in Minnesota, like, they could absolutely support that infrastructure. No?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, because Bali's doing great. I'll smell you later. You would think that
soon. I think that's who's got us this year. So
I know
I don't know how that all works.
I still have no clue. But it's just fucking unbelievable. I just was so mad and annoyed. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? And whatever. I mean, it's the same. I don't know why I'm surprised. I really shouldn't be, but it really will always blow my mind that is a thing where you can't fucking watch it. Like, I wonder, they're like tweeting out. It's like, don't even tweet. Like, don't even tweet this fucking game, please. Like, this is a joke. And then, of course, they had technical difficulty fucking tweeting the video of Lucchini's goal. Like, I was like, this
fucking cause, bro. We'll call it victory sports.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. I love it.
Anyways.
But, I mean, Z, we already said we were going to table Marco Rossi talk because we wanted to see what he does tomorrow. Can't fucking watch that game either. So, like, we've had several comments already saying that the game will not be broadcast.
Are you fucking kidding me? Again? Is there a have they? They just don't want to, or
I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of work.
Like,
We'd have to like flip a whole switch and have someone hold a camera. No.
This league is a joke. This league is a fucking joke. What a bunch of losers. This is like, what are they like? You can watch so many like during the regular season though. Like, like what do you like? Just go outside or something.
Yeah,
like
it's totally a ploy.
It's totally unbelievable.
A ploy to get people to buy preseason tickets. It's like, come on. I'm
very upset. I didn't know they were also not fucking gonna happen tomorrow either. This is unbelievable. What a joke. This league sucks.
Panta said the first game Bally is picking up is Chicago on Saturday, which, Mateo, applause for you. Everyone, and I mean everyone on Twitter calls it Bally's. And at no point has there been an S at the end of Bally. Unless like
people do that,
you don't know how to like see spaces and you go from Bally Sports and you just see Bally's. I don't know. But no, dude, everyone says Bally's. If you go and search keyword Bally's, Ballys on Twitter, you will see just an eruption of angry Wild fans. Yes.
Well,
everyone does it. And it pisses me off. It's almost as bad as re-sign versus resign, but it's not to the point that I'm correcting people. That's reserved for re-sign, resign.
That is incredible. What? Like, did one person angrily say, and everyone's like, well, I guess it's Bally's. I guess this guy must know. The logo looks different. That's weird.
I love how Marco Rossi got bullied out of his name, too. Like, yeah,
he
people
literally was
like, well enough, and they're confused. So I'm Marco Rossi again. Just believe me when I say that.
We really are stupid, aren't we? This is like he's just. It's not even like
American. Yes.
Yeah, like it's not even a hard. People were like, "Why are you saying Rossi?" It's like, why am I saying his name?
That's also wrong. He said the reason that he changed it back is because of the rolling of the R, Rossi. Margaretti.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe we should just start saying that. That's kind of like the same thing.
Brad Pitt is basically all Minnesotans. Gorlami.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
That's good pull. Anyways, we gotta
let's continue here. But to the point that was brought up earlier, what's the deal with JoJo?
I didn't see that he was hurt. I had no idea. I'll be honest with you. Once again, still not like logged on, or well, I'm technically logged on, but I'm not like actively looking at Twitter throughout the day still. So I have not seen anything about him being hurt. So that's unfortunate. I
don't know the severity or the term, but something definitely happened. So,
well, that blows. I mean, like at the very least, like Hartman left practice after that first day, and then they were like, "No, he's fine." Hopefully that's that. I mean, that would be brutal. Especially after like 90% of my like hype over it's like, hey, they're all going to be healthy. Finally, we'll see them together, and they can then what do you know? The mush of Spoke Z continues. Everything I say goes wrong. It's unbelievable. I've never been right about anything in my life. It sucks. Yeah, I really hope that's not the case, though. I hope he is fine.
That would be great.
I mean, again, like I would assume at this point. Otherwise, I feel like it would have been a bigger talking point. At least I probably would have seen it.
Well, no one saw it. No one saw it. No one knows.
Yeah, who knows?
All you're saying.
So yeah, that could be the Twitter admin lying to us, like I would. I wouldn't have lied about that though.
But let's get into what we do know from what's transpired so far in the preseason, and we'll actually lead with this one, not going in the order on the sheet, but the response to potential time missed by JoJo, Sammy Walker season.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the exact thing we've talked about before, where like since he signed, in every preseason thing, prospect thing, games that he's played in, when he went to the AHL, he's just performed more than like anyone expected, really. And that's continued this preseason where he lights up the prospect showcase, which again, he's older. He should be one of the better players out there, but like hat trick there. But this preseason game against Colorado, the one that we could fucking watch so far, he was unbelievable. He was incredible. I think he was a 3-point night, maybe even 3-point. He had 2 goals and assists. He is everywhere. He's on the puck. He's active defensively. The skating's even taken a step, I thought, too. I thought he looked even quicker than he did last year. Like, again, we've talked about it before, like, in so many other organizations, he is playing in the NHL. And again, I've talked about it. Like, I didn't expect this immediately when he signed with Minnesota last year. I thought it would take some adjusting just with the player that he was with Minnesota. But he just came in and kind of just took the AHL by storm, looked more than capable when he played in the NHL games last year. And again, this year, the preseason, possible player out there, and just one of a couple of those standouts in that win against Colorado. But who knows if JoJo is hurt, maybe that's his opportunity to, play at the start of the year and then a little higher up in the lineup than he was last year too. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like, he's earned every minute that he's got so far and more than he's got. So, I'll be curious to see how many games he does get this year. I mean, it will depend on the injury stuff. Like, as John just said, some it's weird. It's you don't want to hope
turn from John, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, this kid, man, like, it's crazy. Like, I haven't really seen someone or a player do that. Like, it's not even just how good he's been. It's just like how different his college career was, just like how he was kind of viewed as just the all around, like, go-to guy for not necessarily like points, but like big moments, like whether it's offense, defense, whatever it is, like leadership, all that stuff that doesn't always reflect on the score sheet. But he's just that, again, like, he comes in AHL, leads that team in scoring and lights it up, scores over 20 goals, comes into the NHL, looks phenomenal, like flashing skill, like turning guys. It's unbelievable. So he deserves to get a long look in consideration. It's just with the cap, B, the players that are in front of him. It's tricky for him. And again, like another thing we've talked about before, this is like with his age, right around when a player is going to be looking to establish like an NHL role full time. And I mean, I don't think anyone can really argue that he hasn't earned a spot, even with the small sample size somewhat. I mean, he had a full season of just doing everything he was asked to do. So yeah, he's been so good, man. It's crazy. Like, I really, like, every time I'm shocked. I don't know why. I like am surprised at this point because it's just been like, there's been no step backwards for him. So I mean, again, hopefully he does get that long look, because he's been phenomenal since day one.
And another guy that's been looking good, that's also vying for some time up at the big club, line mate Vinny Lettieri. How would you compare what he's shown us so far, and like, who do you think has the leg up on actually getting playing time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm less surprised with Lettieri just because I've seen him in the league before. Like, even last year he was with Providence, so I saw him a lot there. He was the best player on Providence last season. So, I mean, I would assume that realistically he probably does have that leg up, just given, he does have more experience. They probably, thanks to that experience, probably trust him a little bit more. And I mean, the contract too. I would assume that was the guy that they would like to have room to have as that 13th forward. And then as injuries come, I'm sure he was probably going to be leaned on as that first guy to step up. And he's been, I mean, another guy that he looked great against Colorado. Obviously was involved in the scoring there. That fucking like the 2-on-1, 2-on-0, like
2-on-0
dagger was, I don't know why I always think it's really funny when you just like blew, like, I mean, clap bomb. Like, he ripped that puck. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm an idiot, but like, that shit to me is so funny where it's just like, he is right in front of the net, 2-on-0, clap bomb first time, and he went shelf. But he deserved a goal that game for sure. He was all over the puck in the offensive zone, especially. But he's a good player. But another guy that he's good enough to play in the league. It's just where he's been. There's been no like window for him to step in. But
yeah,
I think that's a good 13th forward to have too.
Sure. And am I oversimplifying it to say, like, if it's Johansson replacement, we're looking Sammy Walker because we've seen him fit in seamlessly on that line and he fits the profile of what you need there. Whereas if we're looking at a bottom six replacement, Vinny Lettieri is going to be looked to first.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen it with Walker, but I still wonder if they would look at Lettieri more because I think his profile is geared more towards just like the offensive output. And again, but now with the past like 12 months have maybe changed things a little bit, especially for Sammy Walker. But again, I think given his experience, the amount of games he has played already in his career, I still think that they're probably would lean first off with Lettieri.
And the contract.
Again, the contract is like
that helps.
It's crazy because like every decision they make, like even with like call-ups at this point, just given their cap situation, like it's funny. It's just a lot of it has to do with like, all right, well, what's the contract situation, which is crazy. But I mean, but it's honestly a good problem to have when there's two guys that you could be like, yeah, I would be comfortable with either one of them, like sliding into those roles. Obviously it's not the same level of Johansson, but they can fill a role and be admirable in that position. So I would assume again, that's a selfish. Did it? I do. I have to fucking mute those games when I watch it.
I mean, are we gonna talk about Damon Hunt? Do we just go to that right now?
Yeah, so we can go there. It is. So I mean, this fucking poor kid, dude. I don't know how. I haven't seen any updates because again, I don't pay attention. But I mean, he got clipped hard right in the face. I really don't think it was anything like crazy like I don't like it looked weird because I was like, well, why are you going? But he was trying to get around the net, so it was like he had to go that way a little bit. He did tuck.
It's an illegal play, but I don't think the guy's like going after him trying to end his career or anything like that.
Right. Like, I mean, there's plenty of guys that want to, if they're looking to make a name for themselves, it's like whether it's like a big hit or like a fight or something. But like that play, like there's no one comes away from like, oh yeah, he really like made his mark or like stood out the pre. So I really don't think it was anything malicious. It's just I literally had to mute the commentary because it was just the reaches. They were like, oh, that, and the fact that the guy was like, in the back of the day, that was a good hit. They're like, okay, you didn't have to go there. Like, that's crazy. Like, at no point was anyone like, yeah, phenomenal hit, bro. Even back in the day, like, I was like, yeah, solid.
You know what? I just saw vintage Scott Stevens right there. That was beautiful textbook, right to the dome.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sucks, dude. Like, and as Mateo said, like, you got blindsided. I don't think it was malicious. It was just very, like...
It's a penalty in a real game. It should be, right?
Probably, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yes, for sure. But like anyone that, like, I told you I had to mute because I tweeted the video. I had to fucking mute it because like the amount of people being like, oh, gotta keep your head up. Like, if you don't keep your head up, you deserve it. Like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, you're such a piece of shit. If you're like, well, that's what you get for keeping your head down.
Can you imagine those
14 feet away?
If Elon's gonna start charging people for X and Twitter, whatever, if he can give us something where like you can geolocate the dipshits that post that, just so I can like catch them on a street corner with their head down looking at their phone and I just clip them in the head. Like, oh shit, sorry, had your head down. Oh wow.
Deserved. I literally had someone say verdict deserved.
Like, yeah, that was on me.
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, I should have. Oh man, I can't believe it. I just didn't have my head up there. It sucked. But like realistically, whatever, people are idiots, but it just fucking sucks for this kid. It is unbelievable. Like the injuries he's sustained over the past like 4 years. It's brutal timing every time. And so many of them are they just like these freak plays that never happened. Or it's like when it was in the World Juniors camp, blocking a shot, broke his hand. Like it's just every year there's been something and he's overcome it every time. But Jesus Christ, this poor kid just can't catch a break. Like, he was looking good too. Such a good skater, so good with the puck. Like he's big, he's strong, mobile. Like another kid that was going to be challenging, or still is. I mean, we don't know how serious. Like, we don't know if it's like a major concussion or anything. I mean, it looked brutal, but another kid that was just like, was he going to make the team out of camp? No, but was he the challenge? Yeah, he's one of the first guys that they're looking at. Like, all right, like when you project a couple years out, like who's the first up to get called up and make the team for their young defenseman? He was right at the top of that list. So just fucking brutal luck. This poor kid can't catch a break. It sucks. Like that. Of course, it just had to be Damon Hunt again. But hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it was a precautionary thing. Again, I haven't seen any big updates or anything, but I just want this kid to catch one break, 1 year, one time. Sure. Good point, Esteban
Cosgrove. We got to talk about our favorite twins in the Wild system. You were swooning over Mr. Haight. Hunter
Haight, and I tweeted it in the middle game that he is going to be a player. In junior hockey, like in his draft year, and then last year when he went over to Saginaw, like obviously you see that level of skill that so many top prospects have. Like, it doesn't surprise you when he's doing against kids his age, but he stepped right in. And again, no, it wasn't like Colorado's A squad or whatever, but they had some guys playing, like Bo Byram was playing. But like the poise on the puck, the playmaking, the skating, again, like he has so many tools in his arsenal, and he was great. And as it usually goes, obviously after like they all get like that one preseason game, and a lot of the kids that get drafted either that year or the year before, they get sent back to their junior teams. With a full year in Saginaw, with them hosting the Mem Cup too, I think he is going to eviscerate the OHL. Like, again, just the decision making too with the puck. Every time he was on the ice, he was more than noticeable. And he made a bunch of those plays. That pass that he had to Walker, I think it was on the second goal. Maybe it was it might have been the third goal. I mean, he rifled that puck backdoor through a seam. He's a dual threat. He's got a great shot. Again, the passing is unbelievable. Dynamic playmaker. But again, like the poise to have the puck and not just want to get rid of it as a young player playing in the NHL preseason against some big fucking boys like Colorado too. He looked phenomenal, and he looked really good at the prospect showcase too. So definitely, I think at the time when he got picked, there were a few people who were like, yo, that's going to be a good pick, even if he is relatively in this draft class somewhat more of an unknown. But I mean, you're seeing exactly what the scouts saw. And I mean, he's got some tenacity to him too. It's another thing. I talked about it like prospect showcase. I don't think he wanted to get in that fight, but he's like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this now. Popped right back up after getting hammered. Immediately scored a goal in that showcase. So, but he just looked so good this preseason. I thought he was phenomenal against Colorado in that preseason game. And of course, actually, before the Spokesy mush continues, during the prospect showcase, I said my one analysis of the power play is very smart of the coaches to put Hunter Haight and Riley Height on separate power play units. First preseason game, what do? They put them on the same goddamn line. And I'll tell you what, I was having a hard time. The Avs announcers were having one hell of a time with it before I muted them. It is, and of course, they were just like passing. There was one sequence where they went back and forth passing to each other, like a Prizov Zuccarello behind the net. And I was just like, this is fucking unbelievable. They know, they have to know. But they both look great. Height and Haight.
Now, Haight's squad in the OHL is hosting the Mem Cup this year, correct?
Yep, that's what I was saying, yeah.
I mean, how does the squad look? Like, are they in contention, or is it a stretch?
No, they've got another solid team. Another guy that I'm sure we'll talk about as the year goes on for this draft class is Zane Parekh. Yeah, Zane Parekh. Defenseman, right shot, great skater, offensive weapon. I think he scored as a draft -1 in the OHL last year. I think he scored 23 goals as a defenseman. And Saginaw was they were a good team. But I mean, they traded Pavel Mintyukov, which still was really weird to me because like they were absolutely like one of the teams that could win their division, like go far, the Mem Cup, whatever, like, or at least the OHL playoffs. So I was very surprised when that trade happened. But yeah, no, the Saginaw, they've got some players. They've got some real good players. They also have Michael Misa for the 2025 draft, who lit it up as a draft -2, a double underager last year, the OHL. He's one of the guys that you're looking at for number 1 overall in 2025. So they've got a solid squad too. So yeah, I'm sure. And any team that's hosting the Mem Cup, you can guarantee they are going to be loading up at the.
I was just gonna ask, like, how many 9-year-olds are getting traded?
Dude, we won't see quite like the Zellweger trade, which still it just like, I mean, they were trading future like 10-year-olds. Yeah, it was crazy. Like I don't think we'll see that again. But it is just like very funny how that fucking like trade deadline works, where every year it's just like, all right, they traded 4 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, 7 third-round picks, and 4 players for a guy they're going to have for a month and a half. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. But yeah, no, they'll be solid. And again, like I said, I think Hunter Hate's going to do damage in the OHL this season.
Love that. Talking futures, might as well get into it. Very sad day for me. Very happy day for you. Go off. Cole Eiserman.
So I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. I mean, and this is what we were saying before we started this, and this is what I've talked about with specifically with Cole Eiserman.
You know what? Rag the puck for a second, because I'm grabbing whiskey for this. This is brutal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's your internet or my internet, but you're all over the place too. But Cole Eiserman, Newburyport, Mass native, right next door to where I'm from. I was always, and I mean, part of it I assumed was just the fact that ended up going to Shattuck St. Mary's, didn't end up at prep school around New England. So the Minnesota pull was there. I was always surprised that, like, as a kid who's touted that highly, he always has been, like, for the past 5-6 years. I was always surprised that, a top prospect from New England, specifically like right north of Boston. I was always surprised that, or not necessarily surprised, thought it was odd that he was, committed to Minnesota. But this late in the game, this like switch to now go to BU is even more surprising than that. Like, I would assume that Celebrini is going to be one and done with BU after this year. But can you imagine if they were both there next year? You got the first and second potential overall picks for 2024 on the same squad. I didn't even realize
Brini was there this year.
Yeah, Celebrity's there this year. They just got the coaching, the poll just came out there, first overall, or number 1 in the country, preseason ranked. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I really did not see that coming, obviously, whatsoever. By the way, he this weekend he torched, I think it was Omaha, and he had like a second period hat trick in like 9 minutes, and it was just like breakaway, shelf. But Minnesota, you lost another. You just, I mean, I don't know if you count Cooley, but because you had Cooley at least for 1 year, but
I kind of count it just because of the way it happened. If he left right after the season, like, it would have been whatever. But him, like, saying he's coming back and then leaving the way he did, that hurt. But again, as we saw that highlight reel goal that he already put up in the preseason out in Australia, it's probably not fair to have him playing college hockey. So
yeah, exactly.
People have already basically submitted like you see people coming out of the woodwork like, yeah, I definitely said that he should have been the first overall pick that year. Like, shut up. Why didn't you say
I know one person that had him first overall that year.
And I believe
Chris Peters, because he had said it from like 6 months before the draft, and he did. Like, he stuck to it. He's always said it. That's the one person I saw.
He is correct. Very correct. But yeah, I mean, that. So roles reversed. If you're a Gopher fan or tied to the organization in any way, like, what the fuck? Like, how do you feel about this?
I mean, as the Gopher fan here, you tell me. Because I mean, listen, the
I'm
thing with Minnesota, they will always have an incredibly strong recruiting class, but it is
not a talent like that, man. Not from out of state.
Obviously,
like, Cooley is the anomaly, right? Like having Cooley and then having Eiserman be the next up. It was almost starting to like solidify, like, okay, we can get top development program kids from out of state to come here. Because it's usually like, hey, if there's a stud from Minnesota playing in the development program, they're coming back and playing for a Minnesota school. That's just how it is. But I don't know. That stings. You know, the only positive, and I don't know if this is by design on your part, but no, I'm not going to give you that much credit. You're wearing your Waggle hat. At least this is helping our good friends at Waggle Golf expand their reach, because now both you and Cole Eiserman are going to be repping the brand out there.
Yeah, maybe he'll want to play around.
That's actually the only reason that he originally committed with the Gophers, is like, I got to find a way to lock in this sick Waggle NIL deal, and then I'm bouncing out.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the whole thing. Like that feels plausible. But I mean, and shout out my boy Evan Marinofsky. He's the one, I believe he was the one that had the scoop. That's the guy. That's who I saw tweeted out first. So shout out my boy Evan. He's a beauty. He's right around the corner for me. I see him all the time. So shout out to him for getting that scoop.
Big.
But I mean, hey, the rich get richer. That recruiting. I mean, the next couple of recruiting classes, both for BC and BU.
BC and BU is going to be quite the clash.
I am obsessed with the fact that they both are loading up the next couple of years. That rivalry was already obviously incredible, but the past, as I was saying before, the past 2 years have not been the same.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And again, Celebrini, I would be beyond shocked if he's not one and done. But my God, can you imagine that they were both there against the BC guys? Like,
if that happens, I'm going to need to find a couch out there to come with you to the Beanpot, because that is going to be stupid.
Beanpot, funniest hockey tournament possibly in the country. It's just like 4 teams. And it's like, I mean, everyone's like, this is the best tournament ever. And there's 4 fucking teams. I think the premise of the tournament's amazing.
Best of 4. How do you get in? Your school is here. To Sean's point, though, would you agree, Z, that like, yes, like he had some prowess to him, but like Matty Nyes was not like this highly touted prospect, right?
He was in. So I remember his draft year. So no, not the same level. Like no one could have possibly. That's not true. I know of a couple of guys who've been watching him for a long time, and they're like, no, he is. I mean, they had him. One of my buddies had him number 12 overall in that class.
Sure, but like widely, right? Like
right. It's not what I'm saying. So no, not even.
Like, there was some like excitement, but then he had like in his draft year, the reason he went in the 3rd round is because he had a pretty brutal junior season.
Yeah, he lit it up the last like 20 games of the USHL season with Tri-City. And I remember like, and realistically, the commentary around him was legitimately has every possible tool in the world. Like if he just turned it on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If he would just turn it on every game and he just like, I remember one of my buddies said that kid could score 3 points a game easy in the USHL. Like it is sleep. And there's just certain games he would just be like, I don't really give a shit. And then the last little bit of that USHL season in his draft year, I think it was like 26 points or something, last 15 games, something like that, lit it up. And that's when, like, right at the end, it's like there had been too much, like, prior just not giving a shit on certain nights. I'd be like, but is he really going to, like, turn it on and, like, at the NHL level? Like, if he's doing this here, I mean, again, like, usually those kids who have that much talent, like, he's a big kid, plays hard, could score a million fucking goals, could make plays if he wants to, but, like, why is he just not doing it on certain nights? Like, why would you not want to do it every goddamn night? So that's why people are like, I want to have him in the 1st round just based on the tools, but, like, is he gonna have like that like killer mentality? And then he went to college, and it was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes, he will. Yes, he will.
It's
He will have
wild though with how big he is, and seeing his older brother at the Natty last year. He is tiny, but he looks just like him. Like they look identical. But I walked up to him like, shit. So you must be nice, brother. Like, oh yeah, buddy. And like he was pretty tuned up. Like he was having a good time. Like I offered to buy him a beer. He's like, dude, I just had like 6 other people offer to buy me beers. I got 2 in my hand. Like I appreciate it, but no. I'm like, yeah,
humble brag.
I'm like, all right, you tell you what, you just come find me if you want one later. We're good.
Oh man.
But man, no, I gotta ask, because I really don't know the dichotomy out there in Masshole land, right? Talk to me about BU versus BC. Like not the rivalry, but like who goes to BU? Who goes to BC? Like, are there stereotypes that go with both schools, both from just like the student body and from the athlete? Don't worry, I won't tell the first lady.
Yeah, exactly. I would say BU, they attract more from all over. BC's fairly, it's interesting because I mean BC, like the big joke is they're not technically even in Boston. BU is right downtown, like it's right there. BC's a smaller school. It's like more of a private school vibe, so it's a little bit, well, it's a lot of bit different than BU. But again, like I think BU more. It's like it's almost like the like BU's the really fucking like nasty public school, and then BC's like the prep school version, and it's smaller, and I think that's honestly like, even beyond just the hockey. That's
right. That's more the student body. But as far as the hockey goes, would you say that BU is kind of more like the Gophers, where like everyone else in Massachusetts looks up and hates BU, like all of the other Minnesota schools hate the Gophers?
I think a lot more people hate BC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would say that's probably more accurate. Like again, like I see a lot more visceral reactions to like BC doing anything good. I see a lot of like well, they're like whatever, not from B. That's Chestnut Hill. That's not even fucking Boston. Than it is because that for BU. But I mean, they're right down the road. But I know you didn't ask about the rivalry, but the rivalry is incredible.
I believe it.
It's unbelievable. And then meanwhile, the last few years, Northeastern has just been like, all right, that's fun. We'll just kick the shit out of all of you and win everything always. And I'm telling you what,
beat the shit out of everyone.
What if we just kick the shit out of everyone? R.I.P. and peace. I'll tell you what, though, having been to games at BU and BC, I mean, like all the Boston schools, they none of those student sections, fan bases, whatever, can even come close to Northeastern. Northeastern fans are absolutely ruthless. And
even more so than Harvard, huh?
Harvard's so funny. Like it's just like very cool rink, by the way. Harvard. Yeah. It's one of the ones that you walk in and it's sunk down. It's real cool, really nice. But yeah, very, very different vibe. No, I'm telling you, dude. And Northeastern, they play in the old Boston Garden, the oldest hockey rink that's in use in America. Fun fact. And it's
Z, have you ever heard of Lake Minnetonka?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Whatever, dude. But no, Northeastern, when I went to a Northeastern BU game, was it last winter? It might have been 2 years ago. I mean, relentless. And that student section up top is like out of control. And I mean, they do the same at the Beanpot. Their section at the Garden is an absolute mutant fest. I heard some of the most out-of-pocket, heinous things I have ever heard in my life from the Northeastern student section. And like there's certain colleges where you go to games, like any sport, like, oh, like the staff are like, gee, like, all right, that's enough of that. And the staff all were like, I don't know, man, there's just a lot of them up there. And they're crazy. I was like, all right, geez.
I like you. You're crazy.
Like, fair enough, bro. But yeah, no, very different school. Every Boston school is a lot. There's just like no similarities. So it's very interesting. It's very fun because they're all right next to each other too, which makes it even more fun.
Except for BC.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. I mean, like they're still like down the street. Like it's right off Com Ave. Like that's why it's the Battle Com Ave.
Fun.
But yeah, Cole Eiserman, crazy.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. It's all right. That's why we have whiskey. God gave us the brown water for a reason.
Why do you like whiskey so much? Oh, these fucking recruits. These goddamn they
these
keep
fucking
leaving.
18-year-olds.
Like, what? Do you know him? Nope.
Never met him.
She goes to a different school. She's real though.
God damn it. All right. A lighter topic. News just broke that Jacob Voracek, former NHL player, is coaching HC Kladno, who, for those of you that don't know, that is the team that is owned and played on by one Jaromir Jagr, which is just fucking hilarious, being that the first year for both of them, and I guess last year for Jagr, was in Philly together playing on a line. And Voracek, who's substantially younger, is now the coach of Jaromir Jagr, who's only playing on this team because he's worried that they'll go belly up if he's not on the team to sell tickets. What the fuck?
I mean, you want to talk about the mutant fest. It's every Jake Voracek interview is just unfucking believable. When like the way that because I mean he drops the F-bomb every other word. Like it's so good, but the accent makes it so good. It's like, the fucking the fact that those two are even involved in the same organization again is incredible. But again, like you said, the dynamic there has got to be outrageously funny. Like, I mean, it doesn't
Voracek
even
is one of the funniest interviews on Spittin' Chicklets.
Of all, he is just fucking incredible. But
right.
I mean, just a dynamic duo. If that doesn't get that barn sold out every game, I don't know what. Well, you know, Voracek's gonna have something insane up his sleeve for every fucking game. There's certain guys too that you like. Oh, I could see him being a coach eventually. I could see him being like a very funny player development guy. Like, yeah, well, we'll make sure that these guys turn pro. Yeah, Voracek's got him. Just two very funny, just a wild combo. But
I would love to play on that team. That would just be.
I would love to be a trainer on that team. I don't even want to play, dude. I'm just behind the bench.
Stick boy.
I wonder if Voracek would just carve you. My sneaky favorite thing about Voracek is when he gets really drunk and he goes on Twitter and carves people. And then like one time someone said something that he like interpreted the wrong way. And the guy was like, whoa. This is what I meant. He replies, oh, fuck. He just goes, oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm drunk. Didn't mean that. Sorry, bud.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm drunk. Oh, God damn it. Speaking of misinterpretations, I'm guessing this is me, not you, but I'm flipping fucking 18-year-olds. It's kind of like, pardon my take. The running bit is one time the producer, Hank, goes on Twitter and says, fucking A, man. Did not use a comma. Fucking a man. They dragged that joke on for about 2 months.
Yeah, of course they did.
And it hit pretty well every time.
That's so good.
So, yes, that's not great. I also know Isha's bluffing because that probably won't do great things for our numbers, but we'll see.
What a thing. Like, you know, hey, we're almost getting monetized up. Never mind. Oh, what happened? Nothing.
It was either Isha clipping that or some fight tirade he went on or some gruesome like fight result that just got a shadow ban from everything.
Fucking believable.
The only time Isha shows up in the group chat, hey guys, check out this fight. Oh my God, this guy just got his head caved in. Okay, bye.
All right, thank you. Thanks, EJ. Appreciate it. Appreciate that on the hockey account.
We'll see you next Saturday.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
Jeez. All right. Back to some wild topics then. The one that Isha went all over as the thumbnail czar. Brock Faber, just super, super humble dude, which obviously, having Jake Middleton carve you and say that you have a milk bag body would probably humble you quite a bit in general. But he came in, played one practice in training camp with Brodin and just said, it's awesome. Like, even if it's just for one day, it's just such a great experience being able to play with an idol like that. And that just shows like how humble of a kid he is. So humble, apparently, according to Russo on Straight from the Source, that he is living out of a hotel right now because he will not buy a permanent residence until he officially makes the Minnesota Wild roster. I don't know if that's admirable or psychotic. Probably a little bit of both. But I don't know. Your thoughts, Z?
I mean, honestly, like, not surprising. Like, with Brock Faber, and like, you want to talk about a guy that just wants to be at the rink all the time. Yeah, I've been living in a fucking motel, just hang out. Like, I am out of here. I will live at that fucking rink. I swear to God. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised that he's like a humble guy in general.
Right.
But yeah, I think we can all agree that he's got a above 50% chance of making the squad and being a top 4 defenseman immediately right away. But again, it's again, like you said, though, it's just good to hear like that come from him, just being like humble, like just being like, yeah, playing with Brodin, it's great, even if it's just for one, because that means too, like, if that's your approach too, that he is like a sponge every practice, every time they're out there together. And it's just like, well, we all said, like, can you imagine if those two actually, it works out immediately and they're just lighting it up together? Because like, it's the ideal pair. Like, you are never going to have a whole lot of time in your own zone with the other team on the puck if those two are the defensemen, because like we've seen Brodin do this against everybody in the league. And with Faber, a guy that's a right shot, but a whole lot of similar traits to how they play. There are a lot of players who I feel like probably get a little bit ahead of themselves when they come in, they make a good first impression, but just knowing that we all view Faber in a similar light to Brodin in terms of just like how good they are, their approach to the game, what they're really good at. The fact that he's saying that, I can guarantee you every time that they step on the ice together, he is learning a whole lot and he's not taking that for granted at all. So that's what we love to see. So yeah, I've said this a million times. I was shocked when that was the prospect that they came back in that trade. Fortunately, it was with, LA, who at that time had the insane prospect pool, so they could afford to do it. But sure. the perfect prospect piece to come back in that deal for sure. But they are very lucky that worked out for them, because I think that he is just unfucking believable, and obviously he's got a real good head on his shoulders.
And I've been saying this, I'm sure that I'm far from the only one to be saying it, but he really is the prototype of who will be the next captain of the Minnesota Wild whenever Spurgeon tosses it off.
Yeah. I mean, he's been a captain at some point everywhere he's been. Like, again, just part of that is him being so humble, just how he approaches. I'm sure this kid just loves the game, loves being at the rink, loves playing on a team. Like, he said that before too.
God bless Brock.
And a guy, if that's the guy that, if you're on a team and he's the one leading, like, if he's on the ice the most, like, I will follow what that guy's doing. So yeah, you look at not just the team in the last couple of years, but just like the prospect pool in general, you're like, yeah, I would be shocked if that's not the guy that ends up eventually with the C. And plus the fact that he's from Minnesota. There's that picture of him. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. He's from Chestnut Hill. But he wants to be in Minnesota. Like, if you offered him a fucking like 20-year deal, like, yep. Obviously that ties into it too.
A 20-by-2.
Yeah. I love those. I am obsessed with those. Like what the Islanders did specifically, the 7-year, $3 million deal. It is unfucking believable.
You're obsessed with it, but if it was the Bruins that did it, you would be very unobsessed with it.
I would shit. I would lose my mind. I think it was both Colton Sissons and Calle Jarnkrok. They're like 6 years, $2 million. I was like, what? Why? All right, fair enough, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, no, anyways, Brock Faber. I very, very confident that he is going to be not just short term, but throughout his career. He will be a incredible piece on that back end, which will be important as we see, because I feel like, especially in the top four, it's been a lot of the same guys for so long. And now, Dumba's gone now. Suter's been gone for a couple of years. Like it's weird now seeing the transition. So hard to find a better candidate to fill in long term as a staple. Because I mean, every good team in the league, every couple, I feel like every team has anything that wins. Like they've got that at least one guy that's been there on the back end for a while, just like that absolute dog. Like not just like a number one defenseman, but that has been there for a long time. So I think Faber is obviously going to be that guy for them for sure.
Love it. Now, on the captain topic, it's been long assumed that either Joel Eriksson Ek or Jonas Brodin was going to take the A with the departure of Matt Dumba. A lot of talk now surfacing because Kirill Kaprizov did an interview in English that he should now just be handed the A. Where do you sit on who's most likely to be the next alternate captain, knowing that we're not shitting on any of the three?
Another thing that I always get shocked, people get riled up about. I mean, there's teams in the league that have like rotating A's. So like, I'm like, okay.
What's it mean if you're the home A versus the road A? Like, what does that say about you?
No idea. I think it was the Rangers last year. They had like 7 alternate captains.
Really?
Like, why? And
I know that the Hurricanes did it for a long time where they'd rotate it.
Well, they rotated the C, which was crazy to me. That is just like, no wonder that's where they sucked. So like, I was like, well, I know doesn't actually translate to anything hockey related, but that's so fucking weird. You deserve to be terrible. Just the weirdest thing. Like, what if they didn't know? What if they just didn't know? Like, you show up to the rink and I think it was what's his name, Falk and Stahl, both were like rotating the C. Yeah. I was like, what if they just didn't know? They showed up and found out who was captain that day when they got the fucking right. They get to the Stahl, like, oh, I guess it's you. Cool.
No,
this is just the topic.
They arm wrestle for it every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why Stahl had it more often.
Yeah, which Stahl had it about 77 games. Give just I don't know, add the A. I don't fucking like if that's a thing. Because there's
not letting you pick that.
But I don't care. Like, is it like I would give it to Ek. Like that's my pick.
That's where I fall too.
You know what I like? I can't imagine I would be like, I will never re-sign another contract.
I was just gonna say, you're forgetting the fact that if you give the A to Kaprizov, he's not allowed to sign somewhere else. That's what people think.
That's a good point.
It's a very good strategy.
Right. Give him an A on
NFL
the left shoulder.
has the franchise tag. The Minnesota Wild have the A patch.
Hey, on the left side, give him an A. On the right side, give him the C too. You know what I mean?
This is exactly where my head went, Sean, with the Hurricanes thing. Like straight up out of Mighty Ducks when he just like slaps it on his chest and it's there. It's like, the fuck?
They should have done by periods. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, second period, you're better in the second period than me.
Velcro on the chest.
Hey, in soccer, if the captain is getting subbed off, well, yeah, no, they take it off. If they get subbed off, like they'll give it to just someone, and there's no
throw it out into the crowd.
You're like, but yeah, I mean, my pick would be Ek. If they gave it to Kaprizov, I'd be like, okay, cool. What does this mean for the Leafs, though? What does this mean for the Toronto Maple Leafs? That would be my.
I haven't dropped that one in a while. I've missed it.
I know. But yeah, I think we both agree. I mean, my pick would be Ek, and I think that's what you just said too.
Yeah, I think that's the right move, but also I could see Ek being the guy that's like, I'm going to keep leading. I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't think.
But that's the quickest sign that he should have it, right? Like he's passing the test.
I still think if like Kaprizov does it again, he'll probably put up 100 points. Call me crazy. I think he might still be like just as good at hockey and probably do the same shit. He just wants Zuccarello to get it. Actually, if Zuccarello got it, then Kaprizov would have 200 points.
That is actually a really good point. Even though Zuccarello would probably be the worst captain. Like I was actually trying to think for a second, like what's a name I could throw out that would be heinous? And I was going to go with like John Merrill just because people would get all riled up. But Zuccarello might be the worst option. Am I wrong?
Would he be? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really know if
there's like seem like a leader. Like he's a very fiery person and he cares, but like I don't know. I'm probably basing it more off of how he composes himself, like in media scrums or like when shit's going bad on the ice. Like he's just doesn't really have the body language. Like he's a guy that more gets pissed off and sulks rather than like tries to lead the team out of shit.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he had the A forever in New York.
Yeah, that's back when his best friend was the star of the team. And I mean, find me a more handsome duo in the NHL of teammates. It's pretty tough.
Those two. Yeah, you're right.
Zuccarello and Lundqvist. I mean, really, yeah. Lundqvist, and it's kind of like when everyone's like, what's the best line in the NHL? And a lot of people would be like, Crosby and two warm bodies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to name players. It doesn't really matter who.
No, it's Sidney Crosby and Ren. And no, one warm body plus Rem Pitlick and Sidney Crosby.
Oh, my God. That would be so fun. I'd be so happy.
Electric.
You can't do this to me in the middle of a stream. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Whew. All right, back on track. We talked about Dumba leaving. We also got guys like Reavo who, hey, how does that affect the Leafs? They lock a guy up for 3 years that's at the end of his career and is there for the vibes and being a goon. That's awesome for them. I'm happy for them. I mean, that's a better contract than the than the Klingberg one, right?
It's just I love that they're both those guys on the same team. That in a market that is, we need to win a cup.
In a market that's very calm, not reactionary at all. A market that definitely doesn't just take anything that Brad Marchand throws at them and dissect like, what did he mean when he said Mitch talks about his dog?
I really want to find like the radio hits after that happened. It was they're like,
guilty pleasure listening.
Well, it's so just every time
Jesus,
it was like, yeah, good Lord, we didn't have to pull that up, but every time it was like Brad Marchand's at it again. I don't know why we never see this coming, but what is this? What do you think he's getting at? I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like, if this is how rattled you are. Anyways, we've already covered this. He's the best.
But point though being lost some of the vibes players, right? And you're always talking vibes per 60, how important it is to a locker room. Brought in Pat Maroon, who we can talk about a little bit here, but I guess my first question is Pat Maroon enough to cover up for the lost vibes, or who do you see needing to step up alongside Pat Maroon?
I mean, I don't know. I think it doesn't even matter if who really it was. It's still different, right? Like Dumba's a different kind of character in that room because he is who he is, but he's also been there for so long. Reeves is just Reeves, where he just comes in and immediately is loud and wild and funny. They're all different. Like, so in terms of vibes and just like what they bring to the room, I think Maroon was a great addition. And again, he can still play too. It's not like he's the same level as like Reeves, where it was, well, no one will fight him. He's really funny in the room. And occasionally will do something maybe for you. if he gets a good bounce here, like Maroon can play. Like he's still decent defensively. He's got decent enough skills for like his overall profile.
Dude, there was a time where like he was putting up like 25 goals.
He scored
And
30
on Edmonton
when he was playing
days,
with
like, he was
McDavid.
good.
When he's playing with McDavid, he put up 30 goals that year. It was
That'll work.
crazy.
Connor
And then,
Brown's gonna torch this year. Oh,
Yeah, he'll be fine if
he'll be
stays
very
healthy.
fun.
People forget Pat Maroon, Devils legend. Also, Wayne Simmons, Buffalo Sabres legend. Those are two of my favorite weird polls. It's like I forgot they went there.
Yeah.
But
It's really funny though. So everyone should go check out the latest podcast from Russo and Joe Smith, where they actually interview Pat Maroon, and they talk to him about when he learned about the trade. And it was like a super brief conversation with Breezeball, just like, yeah, you've been traded. But goes back and he is out at the cabin with the McDonoughs, which, funny enough, like Ryan McDonough got done real dirty by the Lightning, and Alex Goligoski, and he's like, yeah, I got traded. They're like, get the fuck out of here. And they're like, where to? He's like, to fucking Minnesota. And those were his exact words when telling the story. It's like, yeah,
those are the two dudes he's with. Like, it's unbelievable.
to fucking Minnesota.
I love that. I think we'll see what happens, but I would love to be able to watch the game tomorrow, but
Be really great.
well, I guess does this come out tomorrow or is this coming out Friday?
Well, this comes out Friday, so the game yesterday.
I would like to see how that goes. How do you think the game yesterday is going to go?
Pat Maroon.
That literally broke my brain. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. I don't think I've said that sentence before ever. I don't know why I would, but like that really actually
said it earlier. You're an hour in the future, so we're already kind of doing it. You did it earlier when you were saying what time John was coming in with his insights. So
that's a good point. It's a good.
You got practice.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Yeah. What else we got?
Yeah, this is very accurate. This was wild because I was like sitting there waiting because everyone was talking like it's either Malkin or Stahl that's getting traded, and then finally it came down and it's in the middle of his fucking wedding. Now, at the same time, though, it was probably pretty cool for him because he had already gotten his cup, and now he's going off to play with his brother. So, like, I'm sure there's cool elements to it, but it's like, all right, fuck, I guess I'll tell my teammates that are here, my family, my friends, that I'm moving to Carolina. Just bizarre.
Some of those stories, it's always like,
yep, there's more. There's more. Sean's got a great one. Wasn't Granlund traded when his GF was in labor or something?
There have been a couple of guys that have said that before. They've been like this is really right now. Like, fuck. Geez.
You couldn't have called me 2 hours later.
Just 2 hours,
It's like, fuck, I already named him Garen. How am I supposed to? I can't legally change his name already.
Yeah. Shit. I thought this would work for sure.
Thought this is my way to stay. Oh man. Nope. That's great. I don't know that we really had anything else. I mean, just talking Pat Maroon, like we were just kind of bullshitting before of like how he could best endear himself to fans. Like I go back and think like moments of Ryan Hartman giving the bird to Evander Kane, or like people already liked Moose, but the moment he really arrived was the fucking Superman punch on was it Brendan Dillon or who was it for the Jets?
Dillon, yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like, is it being the guy that like fights Reavo first game against the Leafs, or is it for like just fucking burying Suter, not in the corner because he won't go in the corner. He'll send his pairing mate to do it. He'll bury him somewhere. Or like, is there something else that you think is just like going to be the marquee moment that everyone's like, we fucking love this guy?
I mean, I said this to you earlier, dude. It's different, but let's just say, because I don't think this will actually be the case, like the line that's been happening in the preseasons, Foligno, Maroon, Rossi, or Rossi, however you would like to say it, and what will get me not in trouble. If he just feeds Marco Rossi, a tap-in backdoor, like a sick pass through the seam, and Rossi's just waiting there, or Rossi or Rossi. If he's just waiting there, taps in for his first NHL goal, I think people will lose their fucking minds. And I think that would be one way for him to do it, other than jumping Ryan Suter.
I mean, I think
or
that's
jumping Pete DeBoer. That might do it too. Or anybody on Dallas.
What if he goes up
or
to
Binnington? Oh no! If he beats up Binnington, if he fights Jordan,
he could too. That would make. That's the answer. I had another answer, but I'm not even going to say it now because that's absolutely the correct answer.
That's the answer. If he just says Binnington,
if he goes Binnington and just fucking buries him, fucks up that fucked up nose even more. Oh man. That'd be real fun.
Oh, you were fucking sniffing around for one. You don't get the choice. If he just like Binnington doesn't even want to fight, that actually not only would that be a way to endear himself to Minnesota Wild fans, the entire NHL.
The NHL would love him. Yeah.
What number is he this year with minute? What number did he end up taking? I think 20? that might get retired league wide if he fucking just runs up to Binnington and just starts fucking feeding.
Is he 20? Because that'd just be great if he took Suter's number and like made people not hate number 20.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I think fighting Jordan Binnington might be. Yeah, there you go. Everyone's saying 20.
20, baby. Here we go.
Number 20 would get retired league wide. You got Wayne Gretzky, Pat Maroon.
Oh, I love it. Marlo chimes in back to trade talk, which I don't even recall this, but truly
that was insane.
Traded and was nowhere to be found. Mom pleaded for someone to get a hold of him.
The whole joke is that was the year.
This.
Yeah, that was the year he got moved like 5 fucking times. And the whole thing was he was at the cabin fishing, whatever, on a Richard. And like he came out months later and said, like, no, I found out right away. But everyone's like, dude, he's in a cabin with no service like for 3 days and has no fucking.
He's out there with Hoffman.
Everyone's like, he literally has no idea. We can't get a hold of him. I wonder if they did. That would be funny. That one was that like 2 to 3 days on Twitter was absolutely hilarious. And I remember being a little bit upset that Hartman didn't go with the bit. Like he was like, no, I fucking found. Yes, we have a phone out there, and like it works. So yes, I found out the same day. I was like, but what if it was in the afternoon? That would be kind of funny. Like, go with it a little bit, you son of a bitch. But that was the Twitter was actually very funny when that happened though. Like it was like this guy has no fucking clue what team he's on. He's already been traded 3 times this year, and it just happened again. So. That was a good pull, Marlo, for sure.
Isha's throwing one in here. Was Goodbranson not traded while he was on a safari? And his mom left him a message that he got when he flew into India days later. This is news to me.
Also news to me. He's also been moved.
A lot.
So many times. Penguins legend.
Penguins legend. He was actually like not awful in Pittsburgh.
Really?
Could have been worse. I mean, for Goodbranson. That's why, like, what was it? A year, maybe 2 years ago when we were doing our like breakdowns and everyone was just shitting on him. Like, he's not that bad. And you pulled up his numbers. You're like, he was literally statistically the worst defenseman in the NHL last year. I'm like, all right, I'll shut up.
No, that was last year. He like he was like on like when he was on the ice at 5v5, the Columbus Blue Jackets were outshot on average like 14-2. Like it was unbelievable. But he was good in Calgary when he was playing with Zadorov, who was also phenomenal that year. So he is another defenseman in the right situation, can be fine. But if you're giving him 4 years, $4 million, and you need him to do things that you expect your 4-year, $4 million defenseman to do, you will find statistically the worst defenseman in the National Hockey League. There was one game they got outshot with him on the ice 37-1.
Isha, I can stop you in literally one try here with so Isha says Goodbranson is the worst third overall pick in NHL history. Have you heard of a man by the name of Cam Barker who got traded to Minnesota for Kim Janssen and Nick Letty? Because he is a worse third overall pick than Goodbranson. I rest my case. And I'm sure there's several more. Because there's a lot of bad third overall picks.
Suck on that, Isha.
Suck it.
I do enjoy going back through HockeyDB and just looking through drafts of like mid 90s, late 80s. It's like drafted 7th overall in the OHL. He had 4 goals, 8 assists, 327 penalty minutes. I was like, I wonder why this guy got drafted. Like, I can't believe this guy got drafted 3rd overall and played 12 NHL
took him
games.
3rd.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. All right. What do we got? Anything else?
That's what we had on the list here. I don't know if you have any opinions. Let's see. Let me find it. Oh, wait. Was Galchenyuk 3rd?
Yes.
I don't know why I thought he was 2nd.
He also 2nd or 3rd year scored 30 something.
He also had really good years. He just had a really bad fallout. But
yes,
Mateo said the same thing. Okay. Yeah. But the one request here from Marlo, let's hear some Jujar talk.
Yeah, man, like I forgot he was like as young as he is. He's like not 30 yet, which is like blows my mind because I feel like I've seen him forever. Another decent option where like the kid can play. He's tough. He plays hard. Obviously, he also is another guy that can't possibly be doing more than like anyone's asking to do on a PTO. Like he's been really good for them, especially in the games that we've seen. But like I don't know how that cap works whatsoever. Like I don't know how they do that. But like if they got him on a 2-way, like he's a decent enough player where it'll be fine. Like I just don't know if it's realistic. But again, I was looking at the other day, I was like, he's gotta be like 34, 35. I was like, oh, 29. Okay, that's crazy. But I mean, I don't really know how the thing with Minnesota is I just like it breaks my brain trying to figure out, oh, could they add this guy? Couldn't tell you. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how, like the actual.
I mean, I think you could bonus load him, but you still have to pay him
the cap thing. That doesn't do shit for the cap.
Well, you have to pay him the league min, and then everything that you end up going above the cap because of those performance bonuses, you get dinged next year, which I don't.
The Bruins are facing that hard. Right now.
Yeah, preach. Yeah. Go off.
Yeah. Shocking. I think they bonus loaded both Krejci, Bergeron. They have it with a couple of other guys where it was like,
okay, they also had Bergeron playing for like $3 million, so
not even
feel so bad.
No, not even. No. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, that's the bonus thing is like the performance bonus. It was like Patrice. If you play 10 games, you get a $700,000 bonus, which like I'll do it. That's fine.
You've seen me play through broken ribs, right? And a punctured lung. I'm gonna hit that game count. It's gonna happen.
I think I'll do it. But they knew that, which again, that's part of the reason they signed for that. But the cap hit stays the same. Like you have a firm cap hit, but I mean, yeah, I think he can. I mean, again, I think he can play. He's played tons of games in the NHL at this point. And he can, like, it's not just again, like, yes, his main skill set is how hard he plays. He's tough. He fights. He has taken some nasty fucking punches to the head, though. When Trouba hit him, that was scary. He got knocked the fuck out. It was Brett Ritchie and Cal. That was scary. So he's got some like injuries with like concussions and stuff too. But he's a kid that can play. So I wouldn't. If it's possible, like he would be a good 13, like 14, 15. Like he's one of those guys that can play. So be a good option. I just don't see how that works just like money wise. But it sucks because again, like of course, he goes to Minnesota on the tryout. It's like, hey, want to come play? We can't afford you, but you could light it up in the preseason. Probably still won't sign you.
Is Lysell going to be a Bruin this year?
I think he'll get a couple games. I don't think he's gonna. He's not making it out of camp. He's not gonna make it out of camp.
And classic Isha question: Z, was Derek Dorsett underappreciated?
No. Moving on.
All right, move on.
What an insane question.
Thanks for the record.
That is the most insane question I've ever asked.
Hey, Isha, I'm curious. Was Mark Messier underappreciated in Vancouver?
Yeah, suck on that. Go watch your fucking QMJHL.
No, now it's just gonna blow up the chat even more. Oh no, just a frown.
Yeah.
I don't know, Z. I don't think I have anything else.
Oh, there's only one other thing. It's not a positive one, but I tweeted out the update. Liam Ogren is now in Minnesota.
Yes,
Left
for
Sweden.
God knows how long.
Yeah, with that. And
I mean, everyone
translate the article.
Everyone go check out Z's highlight clip from like one of 3 games that he got to play before the injury. It's all you're gonna get to see this year.
I don't know. And even like in that article, they were like, he's left Sweden. We don't know when he's going back to Sweden. He's here to be assessed by the Minnesota Wild medical staff for a second opinion, which I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Not great.
And like even that coach was just like, it's not going public. He does not want it to go public what this injury is, and it will stay that way.
Very bad.
And they were like, is there a timetable? He goes, no, there is no timetable. We don't know when. But I don't know. Again, it's the weirdest thing. I've gone back that last preseason game he was in. I've watched it every shift like 5 times, and I cannot find it. So I have no idea what's going on. And it blows. So we'll see if there's just any updates that come about. We'll see what, like, I mean, the thing with the medical stuff too is like, that's not something that like even a guy like Russo, he won't cross that boundary. If Ogren's like does not want this to get out, whatever this injury is, the specifics of it, that's not something that will, until he's like, all right,
yeah,
we'll be all right. Like, yes, this can go public now. Like, we have no idea what it is. So I just felt like that should go up. God damn you, Sean. But also thank you for the positive spin there.
Brilliant.
But
brilliant.
hopefully it's, I don't even know how to say hopefully, like, because I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like a surgery versus no surgery on whatever. Like we've seen that in terms of like second opinions in the past before with some injuries too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that. And that would make me think it's like a
artificial disc replacement or
It's been done. It's now been done.
Pioneer, Trailblazer, and it happened again. Wasn't it
like 2 weeks later?
Johnson, right?
Yeah, Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. So yeah,
2 weeks later.
News.
So it was like, ha, motherfuckers.
See, somehow we've got more people tuning in now than like for most of the show. So we're gonna keep it rolling for a minute. I got one for you that you might not like to answer, but we're gonna go with it.
Yes,
we're going Step Brothers. Gonna turn around the interview. Barbara Walters, Oprah Winfrey, your wife. Fuck one, marry one, kill one, go. Except we're gonna swap that out. We're gonna say the 3 guys that are up on contracts at the end of the year: Matt Zuccarello, Marcus Foligno, Ryan Hartman. Fuck one, marry one, kill one, go. In the context of hockey, you're not actually gonna fuck one.
Or any of the other 2. I mean, I'm not doing either.
In the context of hockey.
So let walk, re-sign, trade.
No, I mean, sure.
What are you getting at?
I mean, kill. Yes, kill means let go.
Yes.
Fuck one more means like
this can't possibly.
Who are you going to like? Who's more fun, but just for like a quick stint? And Mary is like, I want to sign you for like a couple years. So we'll say, fuck one is like sign them for one more year because it's fun. Marry is give them like 2 or 3 years, and kill is you're not coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck debate, bring him back. We can go with that, Marlo. Something to that effect. I didn't think you'd take it so literally. I thought you'd see through it, but...
Well, you like the hockey version. I was like, what the fuck is the hockey version? that doesn't even make I can't even...
God, that could...
What I said makes more sense, I think.
Nothing Chicago Blackhawks related.
Oof.
But yes, so go off those general parameters. Who's gonna... Yeah. Sorry, boys. Not trying to concuss anyone.
How is it my
Agreed,
fault?
Marlo. Agreed.
How did I get the fucking... Oh,
way too horny.
Oh, shit.
You can't separate it.
Yeah, that was me. That I did this. This is totally on me. I can't believe whatever. I mean, I would let Zuccarello walk.
All right, so kill Zuccarello. Got it.
I think I would do...
I mean, I feel like I know where you're going to go now.
I do the Hartman for one more.
Oh, okay.
And then Foligno, I'd give like two or three.
So he wants to fuck Hartman and marry Foligno. Got it. I thought you'd go the other way on that. No explanation, just going with it.
Open the spot higher in the lineup for one of those young centers coming up in the next year or two.
And you think you're going to talk Moose into playing fourth line?
Well, Foligno, you can reliably put. I mean, you just go the third line. You can still play. He gives you more both sides ice. Like, obviously, a guy that's got that A. Thank you, Mateo. How am I the one getting thrown like the fuck? Whatever. It's unbelievable. A topic
I'm running this interview, Z. I'm running the interview.
This is insane. I am sticking purely.
How much money do you make a year before taxes?
$12. I know where that's. I know what you're quoting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would stick by that too. My version. Not everyone else's version. This is fucking unbelievable.
You give me a better topic, man.
Okay, I got great news. Fucking Huzadinov played third line center today. They gave him fucking 9 minutes, and that was it. So there you go.
It's progress.
This fucking team. Get him. Good Lord, Marlo. Get Huzadinov over here. I've had enough of him playing in that shit fucking system. That team sucks. They lose every game. They just won today for the second time this year. If
Mitchkov can leave with 2 years left on his contract, as he claims he's going to do, I'm pretty sure we can get Huzadinov out when they don't even fucking want him.
It's such a joke. I fucking hate that Berg motherfucker. He sucks. What a shit coach. Yeah, he hasn't even won shit with him. Thank you, toxic kitten. Unbelievable. How am I getting thrown? This is insane.
You guys listen to Coldplay. That's one of the better digs you've had.
Guys, listen to Coldplay. I don't know. I got nothing else for it.
This is what happens when we have a consistent 26 viewing.
Can't wait to watch the Twitter updates from this game yesterday. I'm not saying anything else. I'm done. I'm fucking into it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday again.
Oh, you're actually upset. This is great.
No, I am rattled, not upset. John Robinson's still here carving Emerson.
You got to go off on this. This is the last topic, and then I'll let you hang up. Odds Everson gone end of year.
I roll.
Next week. Next week, very, very low. End of year. Z, what's it take for that to happen?
the exact thing we've talked about before with this exact topic is like same situation. If they exit first round in the same manner, I don't know how you don't do it. If it's like the same exact situation where, hey, this is a really good regular season team. Oh, this looks like a team that'd be a pain in the ass to play in the playoffs first round.
Oh, hey, we're up 2-1, and they changed things. We changed nothing and lost.
And Dean said that the wife or the ref's a piece of shit. His wife sucks, and that's crazy.
Suck my cock. I'll murder your family.
You're good. I hardly raised my voice.
I'll burn your house down.
Looks like
my mother's in heaven.
Father Pat has crossed the line of all people.
Oh, God damn it.
All right.
That's so great.
I thought this would be a quick one, I'll be honest.
Isha is losing his mind right now, Marlo. You're his hero. Like the stream. Subscribe. Do the thing, everybody. Z is broken, slowly fading, so I'll let him say goodbye.
We will see you for episode 82 next Wednesday, which I'm gonna get used to now. Maybe that's the numbers thing. Maybe that's why we got a spike. Maybe it's the Wednesday.
Saturday, Thursday competes with awful Thursday night football games.
And then so maybe we'll have that stream of the preseason game on Saturday to talk about.
True, because that one's supposedly going to be on Bally, not Bally's.
Bally's Sports. Unbelievable. All right. Thank you. Leave. Please just hit it and stream. I've had enough.